Hey, what's up, guys, and welcome back to another Real Madrid review. Real Madrid 1, AC Milan 3. It's getting to a point where you start to wonder WTF is going on. WTF have I just watched? Have I just witnessed? 90 minutes that I've watched that game, and that was just, I don't even know what to say. That was embarrassing. I think it's beyond just embarrassing and horrendous and horrible and whatever we said after El Clasico. Because, yes, El Clasico was bad, but we have seen Real Madrid lose El Clasico like 4-0 before and then bounce back. It might not be, the next week you go and win 5-0, but you see a level of response from the players, from the manager, from the team. And where was that today? Where was that energy? Where was that fight? To go 1-0 down after giving away a corner, which, okay, it happens, but you give away a corner early on. Good header, by the way, very good header. It is a dream header for any striker, centre back. It's right there, bullet it in. Nothing the keeper can do about that. And after going 1-0 down, we get the energy. We get the energy for about 10 minutes. About 10 minutes of the 90. 1/9 of the game, we saw fight. We saw passion. We saw energy. To go there, get the equalizer after a penalty, and then after scoring the penalty, you switch back off. Oh, yeah, we're back in it. We will magically, start scoring and winning the game again. And to concede that second goal was pitiful. I mean, that second goal was absolutely disgraceful. I don't know what's worse, the second or the third, but that second goal was horrendous, was pitiful. And then the second half, players were walking. The press was weird because the players wanted the press, but only one or two of them went for the press, which means that if you're pressing a team to win the ball back, everyone is going after the team. Either you do it collectively or no one does it. Because what happens if the attackers do it and then one or two of the midfielders do it and the rest of the team stays back? It leaves gaps in the midfield, which we saw in El Clasico, which we saw today. And there were gaps everywhere for Milan to exploit. And the backline as well. They were really high. And, Leao had an incredible day because he obviously was up against Lucas Vazquez. That was a mismatch to begin with. But Lucas Vazquez pushing forward, Militao pushing forward, and you're left with Leao up against maybe one defender, and then the likes of Reinders, Morata, everyone else, Pulisic, getting into the box / edge of the box area. It was basically Milan cooking a 4v3 or a 3v3, which on two of the occasions they scored, and they could have scored 4, they could have scored 5, they could have scored 6. It could have been a Milan 6-1 win. It could have been that. And you go back to the drawing board. What did the players learn from El Clasico Why has nothing been changed? Why are we still seeing, and saying, of course, that there are problems in the team? The problem is beyond Mbappe right now, because put aside Mbappe, I thought he had a mid game. He wasn't great, but it's not Mbappe. I mean, you look at the Milan defense, and credit to Milan, they were playing low block. They were playing everyone comes back to defend, to win the ball back, and we'll hit them on a counter attack football. And it worked. It worked. Especially you look at the third goal, it worked, right? But I'm looking at not just Mbappe, because obviously against a defensive low block, it's hard to break down. I thought Vini was made as well. I can't really blame them too. I'm looking at the defense today. I'm sorry. For me, I watched the game. I thought, obviously, as I said, Vini and Mbappe weren't great. They were probably 4 out of 10s, maybe even lower. The midfield, Valverde has just not looked particularly good recently, has he? Like the last 2 games, I just thought Fede Valverde. It might be because he's playing too many games, but I just look at Fede Valverde and I go, he's the most important player on the team because there's no one else like him, and he runs a lot. He plays for the team, but recently it just hasn't looked great. Luka Modric, I thought was probably the best player on the pitch. I thought, at his age, he was actually pressing. He was actually, doing what we should have done. At least everyone. When you lose the ball and the opponent has it, press for the ball. And at 39 years old, for him to still be pressing that much, doing the work, I think it's just remarkable. And then Tchouaméni, absolutely disastrous again. Probably one of the worst on the pitch today. Look, obviously, a few days ago, I made a video about Tchouaméni could leave, and the club not really favouring him apart from Ancelotti. I think you put Camavinga in for the next few games and you see what happens. Obviously, he is a good player on his day, Aurélien Tchouaméni. I'm not discrediting him for what he has done, but this season he has not looked like the player that we know he is, and I have no idea why. And the defense, Mendy can cut some slack, Lunin can cut some slack, and Rudiger can cut some slack, because obviously Rudiger's got that goal, very good finish, marginally offside. Lunin, first goal, nothing he could have done. Second goal, that was on him, to be fair. He should have just caught that, but obviously, maybe because the speed of the ball from the shot from Leao, he probably couldn't have, got hold of it, maybe. And the third goal, he was in a 1v1. There was nothing he could have done about it much. I mean, he tried. But compared to El Clasico, he was better. But that's not what we are aiming to, be. We are better than we were against Barcelona, but we still lost 3-1. And I thought Mendy was probably the best defender. But Militao and Lucas Vazquez. Now, I'm not talking purely 100% on football. As in, they were crap. They were the worst. Because we know Lucas Vazquez, he is a reliable player who comes in and does his job. And he's not a right back, but he has done his job. And he does his job for the team. And he's one of the captains. And like I said, he is a reliable, useful player. But he did obviously got absolutely burned by Leao, and I don't see it in Lucas Vazquez. In the past, when obviously Lucas Vazquez was playing in the right back role, you saw glimpses of him not having good games and bouncing back from it, and it was just, oh, at least we were winning, so at least we were scoring to cover up for our defensive mistakes. Now we are not even scoring, and we are conceding a crap ton of goals because of the right hand side, because teams know. I mean, next week, this upcoming weekend, Osasuna will come to the Bernabeu, and whoever their left winger is will absolutely try to get at Lucas Vasquez. And you already know it's probably gonna be Lucas Vasquez getting absolutely burned. Militao, for me, wasn't totally bad for his football, although that third goal, what was he doing? He was so out of position, it's absolutely crazy. I mean, I don't know why Lucas Vasquez and Militao both went out to the right hand side. And then that left Rudiger exposed, having to cover, and then after Reinders got the ball, it was 1v1 basically. But, you know, Militao, for me, after Vasquez made the foul, and obviously he got a yellow card, Militao, I mean, he smacked the ball with his arm and got a yellow card for that. Now, you might say, okay, he did that out of frustration, out of anger. But guess what? For that third goal, neither Vasquez nor Militao could touch Leao or anyone in the attack because they were already on a yellow card. Which meant, if you can't touch the defender, Leao, we know he's explosive, he's quick, he'll get past this man, he'll do whatever he wants, and you can't, even like push him or, bring him down or whatever. Just setting yourself up for trouble. And that was genuinely horrible. But let's give Milan some credit, because I thought they were better. They came in with the hunger that I didn't expect in my preview. Obviously, Leao starting made a big difference, but it's not just Leao. I look at the Milan team. Morata played great, Leao played great, Pulisic played great, Musa played great, Reinders played great, Fofana was decent, Theo Hernandez was decent, Tior and Tomori were great, Emerson was actually pretty good, and Maignan was incredible, man of the match, because he made saves, and we had chances, but Maignan was there. Look, where do we go from this? I don't know. You've got Osasuna at home, international break, Leganes away, and then Liverpool away. If we are going to see the same crap that we have been seeing in the last two games, and it's not even just been the last two games, but the last two games, it's gotten to a point where, at least usually, as we say, we play badly, you get the result, great. It's gotten to you play badly, you go down 1-0, your heads drop, you lose momentum, suddenly everyone crumbles, and then you end up conceding 2, 3, even 4. And that has been the problem that we've seen this season, and something needs to change. Something needs to change in that team. But what does Ancelotti actually have to do? Because at right back, he's got no one. At centre back, he's got no one else. At left back, look, Mendy sometimes can be a liability, but let's not act like if Fran Garcia comes in, he will change and solve the problems in defense, because he's not a defensive left back. The midfield, I think Kamavinga will probably come in. And obviously, a lot of people still saying Arda Güler, he needs to play. Look, I completely agree. I think that could Arda Güler have done better or change the game? Possibly. And Endrick as well. I thought Rodrigo should have come on a lot earlier. I mean, Ancelotti brought on Dani Ceballos as his, was it first sub? One of his first subs anyways. Why? Why is Dani Ceballos coming on when you're losing 2-1, you're chasing goals, and on the bench, you've got Endrick, Rodrigo, Arda Güler. I'm pretty sure Brahim came on at halftime with Kamavinga. Yep. Um, so yeah, I mean you're looking at Arda Güler, Endrick, Rodrigo could have come on earlier to maybe change things up, freshen things up in the attack, more legs, fresh legs. I know he's not fully fit yet, but I think that 30-35 minutes should be okay. Um, he didn't look dead to me. He didn't look like he could only play 10 minutes. And obviously Endrick, Arda Güler. Yes, we've talked about how inexperienced they might be, but they are here. They are here, and when you are chasing a game, there is nothing to lose in terms of Endrick. Go up there, try to score. Arda Güler, try to do something, and they might lose the ball. They might, do something, lose the ball, and we concede. But I just think that the fact that Arda Güler and Endrick have not gotten minutes in the last 2 games, and we've been trashed. And I'm not saying that because they haven't played, we lost. Like, it's not that. But I'm just saying, you're losing, you're chasing a goal, and you're bringing Dani Ceballos on instead of Rodrigo, Endrick, or Arda Güler. That tells you a lot. That does. And is it time for Ancelotti to go? I don't see Real Madrid sacking managers midway through the season unless we lose to Osasuna and he'll be on hot fire. Because if you lose to Osasuna, you're practically out of the La Liga race because you'll be 9 points behind Barcelona, I believe, which obviously is horrendous to be 9 points off the lead of the table after 10 11 games in La Liga, and obviously the Champions League, you might never make it out of this league stage, and even if you make it out, you might not get in the top 8, so you have to play a qualifying round, and then after you play the qualifying round, you might not even win that. But even if you win that, you go through the round of 16, you might not even win that. You're papering over the cracks basically, because okay, you can get lucky here and there, but clearly from what we have seen this season, you're not gonna go long. La Liga, you're not gonna win it. Champions League, you're not gonna get anywhere near it, and any other competitions, I have no hope. Super Copa, we're probably not gonna win as well. Barcelona will probably win. Copa del Rey, Barcelona will probably win. Yeah. So I think Ancelotti has a lot to talk about with the players. I think that this is not just one of those games, one of those days. It's been happening and it's been coming. But let me know what thoughts are down below. Hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel on already, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.